You're on CYInterview.
I'm Chris Yandick. Featured columnist Jay Billstein is with me. Today on CYInterview, just east of the Las Vegas Strip sits Ellis Island Hotel, Casino, and Brewery. Today we welcome Ellis Island Vice President of Development, Christina Ellis. Christina, thanks for joining us on CYInterview this morning. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're glad to have you. So for the many millions that visit Las Vegas every year, they can venture a few minutes from the Las Vegas Strip to the east and be at Ellis Island with some of the most affordable drinks, food, and gaming in the entertainment capital of the world. Do you think I summed it up well? And what do you want people who are visiting Las Vegas to know about Ellis Island overall?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to explain it. We are just a block off the Strip, and definitely a value-driven and also, really old Vegas style-driven casino just off the Strip. So, like you mentioned, we offer great quality, great value on drinks and food. We have our Village Pub and Cafe on site where we have our famous $9.99 steak special, a barbecue restaurant, a beer garden on site, and then just some great gaming that keeps both locals who have been, tried and true to us for years and years, and tourists who love going just a block off the Strip to see where the locals go, and to, it's almost like the best kept secret that people want to tell their friends about because it's a great place to escape from the Strip while you're visiting town and just visit a local's joint.
Ellis Island is truly a family operation going back multiple decades and generations. Can you speak about that and how rare that is in the Las Vegas resort community today?
Yes, absolutely. So my grandfather opened what is now Ellis Island in 1968. So at that time it was a locals bar. It just sat where our karaoke lounge footprint is today. And my dad grew up in the business, absolutely loved the business. And in the 80s, he purchased the property from his father and just started expanding into the resort that we have today. And it is very rare. So my dad is still there nearly every day, very, very involved in all of the operations. My sisters and I have two younger sisters, and they both work alongside me, and we each have our respective departments and collaborate and see each other, every day at work. And then have a multitude of cousins and uncles and different family members that have been involved and still remain involved in the business. And it is pretty rare, right? It's not very often that you're going to see the family members on the casino floor, but it allows us to, and to backtrack for a second, in addition to that, we have team members that have been with us for, 30 plus years. So really we try and cultivate that small business family atmosphere among our employees, and that we've seen people stay with us for a very long time and celebrate anniversaries with us, but also we try and treat the visitors that we have on property like they're kind of in on the family secret, right? So because it's a smaller property and because it is family run, we try and permeate that through the culture at Ellis Island.
Jay?
Let's talk eggnog. When I first read this, Christine, I thought it was just fascinating. If I understand correctly, this is not simply a holiday promotion that you good folks have. This is actually like a family secret recipe for eggnog. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's right. It's so funny because it's such a small part of what we do at Ellis Island, but it's something that people just have gravitated towards and love talking about, and it has become, it's just more than releasing, our holiday cocktail list, right? It is a family recipe, and it's something that has become a part of so many others' Christmas and holiday traditions, which is so special.
You know, Ellis Island has long fascinated me for a variety of reasons. One is the kind of old, and you put it so well. I mean, the old Vegas feel. It captures an era, but also the tremendous value. And then when I saw the story about the eggnog, I was like, is there anything these folks don't do? I mean, it's just, Las Vegas is a place with so many fascinating properties and so many fascinating resorts, but I have to tell you, Ellis Island is right up there with the best of them. You said something interesting, and it resonated with me right away. You talked about a place that locals go to, and I can well understand that, because locals, probably more than anybody else, are the people in the know about, hey, where can I go and not only have a great time, but where can I go and have a great time at a great price? What is curious to me, though, is how do you attract the out-of-towners? How have you been able to cultivate a loyal following over time from people who are, let's say, driving or flying into town from somewhere else?
Absolutely, and thank you for all the kind things you just said about Ellis Island. But we really are, people in the industry and locals have become such advocates for us, which is so wonderful. You know, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, taxi drivers, bartenders on and off the Strip. We are constantly hearing that the visitors, the tourists we have on property, are hearing about Ellis Island from these groups of people, which is so wonderful. And we've long taken care of taxi drivers, of industry. We just have, created an atmosphere that they enjoy visiting after work or in between shifts or whatever it may be. So that's one part, and also we really value our players. So of course we have the people that come in from out of town to enjoy the food amenities, but we take care of our players, and we want to, we're a smaller casino, so we're able to take care of players that are often overlooked when you're visiting the Strip. So I think that the combination of the great value you're going to find, the, oh, hey, you want to go to this place where you can get a $4 beer instead of the, $14, $15 beer you're going to buy on the Strip, the bartender will kind of let you in on their secret. So it's those incredible advocates that we have for us around town, just people that have enjoyed the property forever, that are tremendously sending people our way. And then we're very conscious and always trying to make sure that once somebody gets in the door for the first time, that we become something that they're going to talk about on their trip to Vegas, right? This place that they stumbled into, and then they had the best night of the trip, or they want to come back and stay in the hotel, or they want to come back and visit another dining amenity, or come and take advantage of our local table minimum. So it's just trying to really create that experience where it's something that you're going to remember when you visit.
So you've built up goodwill over time. One thing that's always fascinated me is the name, Ellis Island. If I have it right, and please correct me if I'm not, your grandfather was born in Italy. Do I have that right?
My great-grandfather was born in Italy.
Your great-grandfather was there a name change along the way or something? Because when I think of Ellis Island, and I think of the name Ellis, and especially paired with Island, I think of Ellis Island in New York City, and where immigrants for time immemorial had come, from Europe and all over the world into the United States, especially during a time of tremendous immigration. Was there a name change? Was Ellis the original family name, and you folks were just like, hey, we could have a play off famous Ellis Island in New York? How did the name come about?
So our last name, when my great-grandparents immigrated, was Alessio, so A-L-E-S-O. And so there's, probably a dozen different variations of the story, but when they came through Ellis Island, or when my great-grandparents started grade school, or however it may have been, the name was changed to Ellis. So, yeah, and then just so ties so well because they did come to Ellis Island that it was Ellis, and whether it was all these Italian kids that didn't know how to pronounce their last, or didn't know how to speak English very well, or the last name was changed to Ellis, which is pretty close to Alicio, right? So it just kind of works. And
it's a story that I think for many of us whose families came from Europe came through Ellis Island, and in many cases the people who were working there didn't know how to pronounce the name or didn't really understand the spelling, and I think a lot of times names got changed at the port of entry. But it's certainly a very, very catchy name for a property in Las Vegas. And along with the catchy name, you have some of the catchiest promotions. Do you have people who, became original customers because they're like, this is where I can get the best, most affordable steak in Las Vegas? And by the way, in a time of inflation, again, I believe it's still going on. That promotion, your incredible steak deal still exists, does it not?
Yes, it does. It's available 24 hours a day.
That's I have to tell you something. I mean, for those of us who, cover Las Vegas or are in and around Las Vegas, that's got to be one of the most incredible promotions, not simply in Las Vegas, but probably anywhere in the United States, maybe the world. Maybe talk to us about your steak for a minute.
Absolutely. So it's a 10-ounce top sirloin steak. It comes with your choice of super salad, your choice of potato, so baked potato, mashed potato, French fries, or rice, and our famous garlic green beans. It's available in our cafe, and if you have a Players Club card, and if you play through $5 on any machine, it's $9.99, and that's available all day, every day.
That is just incredible, and as you're describing it, you're getting me hungry. And that is, but I mean, if you think about it, really, a couple minutes away on the Strip, Chris, I don't know that in many places you could get a single cocktail for that price.
You're correct.
That is just incredible. Do you think that your winning formula then is give it a family, kind of a tripartite division, give it a family-friendly feel with a catchy name, treat people not like they're nameless and faceless, but treat them like part of the family, and then have these superior offers and these kind of catchy things, whether it's your steak offer or whether it's the eggnog and so forth. And over time, you build a loyal following. I mean, I hope I'm not giving away the secret sauce here to the success of Ellis Island, but are those really the pillars?
Yes, I think you're on to us. I think you're giving away our secret. But yes, absolutely, that's exactly what we do. We started off this conversation talking about the eggnog and thinking about our Village Pub and Cafe. So many things in that restaurant are also family recipes, right? Our sauces, our salad dressings, all things that we have, perfected and hold as these tried and true family recipes over the years. And so to have people so excited about the food, and they have this great time, and we have this great atmosphere, and then we're going to take care of them when they venture into the casino, and we're going to try and keep them coming back.
I'm getting even hungrier. I'll be over there in 15 minutes. Chris?
Christina, why don't you tell us just in closing what you do on a daily basis as the Vice President of Development?
She makes people hungry, Chris. That's what she's doing. She's doing it right now. My God, I got to get in an Uber double quick and get right to Ellis Island. Go ahead, Christine. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. So I'm responsible for all of our food and beverage, our new construction projects, whether at Ellis Island or at our other properties, and then overseeing things like marketing and events, doing great interviews like the one we're doing this morning, really helping spread the word about Ellis Island, and just being in the family as well, I have the opportunity to get thrown into a bunch of different projects that would normally fall outside of somebody else's scope, which is great. It's a lot of collaborating with my sisters and walking the property, meeting with different directors, and just supporting them and making sure that they're carrying on the vision that we have for the space.
Well, in closing, two quick things. As Las Vegas' fastest-growing media outlet here at CYInterview, we're always happy to get the word out about Ellis Island. But one thing I'm going to mention in closing, which is becoming more rare than ever, is low-stakes gaming in Vegas just in general. There are not a lot of places anymore where you can play $5 blackjack 24/7, but you guys offer that.
Yes, we do. We do.
What does that mean, in your opinion, to draw in that gambler who feels like they're on the Las Vegas Strip, $15 minimums in the day, $25 minimums at night? Like, what does that mean to you guys as another drawing thing?
Absolutely. I mean, it just goes back to our mission of cultivating that old Vegas atmosphere and catering to players of all sizes. So, it's not often that we'll have tables alongside our $5 tables that are higher minimums, but the $5 table is something that people really gravitate towards. It's a great time. It's, one of the busiest tables. It's the most fun one. And, it's just always, it really contributes just to the overall message that we want you to come in, have a good time, and appreciate the value that the space has to offer.
You can now visit Ellis Island Hotel, Casino, and Brewery to purchase their famous eggnog that goes back 20 years. So for Vice President of Development at Ellis Island, Christina Ellis, featured columnist Jay Bildstein, and CYInterview, I'm Christian.